Okay, here we go. Setting the last AC we took out last winter. Breaker on here. What do we got? Subcooling is what? 10 degrees.
Yep. 25 or 16.
Breaker is minimum 16, so that's 20 to 25. And we got fuses over here in the disconnect, so we'll just put some 25 amp fuses in here and we'll be all set. As long as we got a number 10 wire, which that certainly is not 12, so probably got a 30 amp breaker in the panel. Now, trying to figure out where this goes and still have the wire reach. We want it as far left as possible, otherwise our line set's going to have to come out and go right and then 90 back in, but it looks like it's going to end up having to do that anyway, so something like that is probably in order. And then the wire will still, we'll have to put a 90 on it or something, or move it back this way. What's that? I did some modification on the Victor 2.0 nitrogen regulator, because when you want to do a pressure test, the pinhole that's in that only place to hook on your gauges when it comes stock from the factory. It takes forever to do a pressure test. It's really good for flowing nitrogen when you're soldering, but anyway, what I ended up doing was putting a shutoff there, and then the safety release valve goes in that hole normally. So what I did was put a T in there, and now I got high pressure coming out over here, and I still have my safety. I called the factory and asked them if I could do that, and they said, no, you're going to void your warranty. Okay, well, whatever. But at least now I have something that I don't have to sit here and wait 10 minutes for it to fill up and do a pressure test. So that is a beautiful scenario. We put this furnace in last November. Maybe not. I'm not sure when we did it actually, but last winter anyway. So what we're going to do is run our line set up and out, and we'll be good. There's our hole. It's going to be kind of a hard bend to make. I might want to angle that hole down with the 2-inch drill bit. I think I'm going to do that just so we've got more of a, right now that's not going to work. So I'll just angle, pull that wire out and angle that drill down. Okay, we got the line set stubbed out. Go out there and help him get set up and get him soldering. we measured, we're going to go straight down, maybe 10, 12 inches, and then it's about 18 inches from the house to where we got our pad marked. You can see the marks there, I think. So Corey's going to bend straight up 18 inches right here. It's always better to go a little more, so just bend it. Put the center of your bender right at 20.
Okay.
You can always cut it off. You can't put it back on unless you get your torch out.
Let's get your torch. Is that right at 20, you think?
Yeah, 3/4 for sure.
Yeah, 3/4. 3/4.
Okay, yeah. Straight up. You're going sideways.
What?
Yeah, straight up.
Okay, right there. Better? Right there?
That's good. Now we're going to go 10 inches back towards the house and bend straight down. Make sure that bend is right in line with the other one.
What do you mean?
That's perfect. Just go straight down. What do you mean? What do I mean?
With this one, you're saying?
Right. That's good.
Good?
Okay, now we'll see if we can get our insulation back on.
I'm pretty sure we can. Yeah. Yeah.
Hang on, you gotta be careful when you're pushing on
So
that.
you don't kink it.
Yeah, because you're gonna kink it right there if you push too hard without giving it some help. Here, let me get one hand here and you push there. Okay, you're good?
Yep.
Okay, now we're gonna hack off a little bit of insulation so we don't burn it. Yeah, probably go even, yeah. Because we're gonna have to cut some of that off anyway. And then we'll just zip tie a little piece back on when we're all done. A little humid out today. It's supposed to be in the 60s. That be our warmest day? I don't know, maybe.
So far, yeah.
Alright, see if you can just ease that in without tearing it up on the siding.
Should we put some tape on this? We don't got none, do we?
Foam tape's in the truck.
Yeah.
I'll go grab a piece.
Okay.
We slide down a piece of 1/2-inch clear vinyl tubing to protect the liquid line from the stucco. Any concrete, copper obviously can't be touching or vibrating for that matter.
Perfect.
When you're running these line sets, you want to make sure this little guy is not touching anything metal because it will vibrate a hole. Not to mention, you see some of these old jobs that got wire pipe hangers that have been vibrating on there for 20 years. That's not good. Lift that little one up out of the way and kind of ease that thing over. Do I need to go in and move it? Oh. Okay, now that part is going to be a little tricky. You're going to want to get your hand right here.
Yeah.
And hold. You're going to actually pull out right there and push down there. So you don't kink it up here.
You want to show me?
Yeah. That's actually gonna, because the weight inside is pulling it down, that's part of the problem. But you see how I'm holding it right there? So I don't put any more pressure where we already bent it, and I'm putting a little bit of an arc right here, bending it right around my hand, hopefully in a perfect world. Okay, so that's what's going on there. And then we're just gonna bend this in. like so. Or you can use your tubing bender. And this is not 90 anymore.
Nope.
So that kind of looks funky, but I think we're just going to go with it. Let me just cut that off right there. I don't know what this ink is on the end of this line set. You might want to sand that off. You got the Schraders pulled?
Yep.
So we're going to spray the thermal gel on there and then wrap them with rags. Lower nitrogen. Oh, the little guy needs to get bent and we can't. We got to make sure this is sticking out a little bit right here.
Yep.
And then that creates an ant trail, so we're going to have to caulk around that. And then thumb gum, obviously. Let's see, I think we'll just stick most of this back in. And always try and follow your big line as close as you can until you have to separate down here.
I don't think we need to even cut it, do you?
Well, no, that's why I pushed it back in. Yeah, you're good to go. The only thing I'm worried about, I don't want that pulling off of here. I want that to be able to...
Yeah, we're going to zip tie it.
Yeah. All right, you got this?
Yep.
Well, I can't do much right now anyway until this gets soldered. And then I'll go inside and hang.
You don't think that, it doesn't feel clean. I hate to put pressure down on that.
I think we're videotaping upside down right now. I hope not. Come in here to pull these caps off the line set. Otherwise the nitrogen is going to blow back through his joint and then blow his solder, create a leak. Let me see that. Oh. Okay. Go ahead. Let's do it.
Be careful not to get it in the valves.
That's a good tip.
That one there. Another one to the front.
We got our new 25 amp fuses in the disconnect plug there. We got our protection going through the concrete. Decent bend on there.
Okay, we'll do the little one first. And we'll jump to the big one.
Alright.
And I hope we got enough oxygen here to...
What are we running low on oxygen now?
Oh, yeah, I mean, look at where it's at. It's right on the middle bar. It's empty. I mean, we're going to see how far...
Are you sure it's open?
Yeah. It's open.
Oh, you can hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're just doing a little line, and then we can change it.
Oh, did you switch the, when did you do that?
I found everything yesterday. I cleaned the truck and the shop. I found about 6 of those sparkers that were all worn out. But then I found some of those tri-flint things for that one. That's the only ones that I have flints for. So we're good to go for a while. Now that I know, I just got to remember where I keep my flint. You're going to melt that pad, aren't you? We should probably get a rag under there. back. Try not to point that flame at the valve. Yeah, you want to angle it away from the valve. And you almost need to be over here to get this side of it. Put that torch at an angle away from the valve. Yep. Oh shoot. I think your rags are too wet.
Are they?
Yeah. It's just gonna keep blowing out unless you fix these rags. It's gotta be tighter on there.
Don't burn yourself.
Almost out of oxygen, you say? Yeah. And that will make it not get hot enough. Go ahead, fire it up. Let's fire it up. Yeah, this flame ain't hot enough. It's a mess. So it's a pain when these rags start steaming. It's because you didn't wring them out enough and it blows the torch out. So that little bit of water needs to come out of that rag or it's going to blow your torch out. Let's fire it up. Go ahead, fire it up. Yep. Let's see how this goes. I hate soldering by wet rags. What I want you to gather is how I hold my flame and when I start moving it. You're like not close enough to it half the time, and then you can't heat it up very quick if you're not close enough. Right. But then I know why you're not close enough, because you're worried about burning a hole in it, which is a valid worry. I can hear it starting to hiss. That steam is coming off. It's going to blow my flame off. Really annoying. I just bumped my knob, and my flame went down to a not as hot, which was kind of good because it was just getting up to temperature anyway. And the lower you can keep it, the less the steam will blow it out. There's so many variables. And once it's heated up and the flame's green, work your way around and pull it in there. I gotta get over where you are.
Yep, I'll switch.
The little one's done, right?
Yeah, little guy's done. Yep. Okay, you're good. Go ahead.
Did you hear that? If you hear that, you better get away because it's going to blow it out. Get my mirror and check it. You can stop that.
I can already That's funny about that green flame. I didn't know that turned color like that when it was hot enough to flow that silver solder until last year. We might as well just do it. I mean, we already have the torch here. We might as well just do it now instead of having to get a torch all the way back this way. I mean, it's a very minor hole.
Okay, we'll cool that off then. And then move everything over and fix it. I'm going to go start strapping this big line up. Alright, threw a street 90 in there. And took the strap off of this fresh air and snuck it up in through there. And I got this anchored every 4 or 5 feet or whatever. And now I'll come back and zip tie the liquid line onto that with my low voltage wire. That's just kind of hanging there. I guess they got it stapled, but. And then put a little 90 on that with my little tubing bender right there. Use that to bang that right into the coil there, and we got to wrap these lines. The big one, nothing really to hurt, except you might start it on fire there, burn off that. They got the bulb from the expansion valve foam taped onto that right there, so you don't want to burn that. And then we want to protect our expansion valve from overheating. So we'll wrap that all up. And I pulled this insulation back and zip tied it. Hopefully that'll make it to the coil, and we just stick it in that hole when we're done. This all fitted together and wrapped with rags. I'm gonna solder it up. That was our flow. Now we're going to do a pressure test.
It's all caulked and thumb gummed. The thumb gum kind of.
Oh, Schrader valves. Don't want to forget that.
No. I couldn't see that much smoke coming out today, but I can hear it because I covered up the little line, and you could hear it coming out. Oh my God. Pour it out into the box.
Get the Schraders in, right?
Yep, they're both in. I just gotta get these now. That was a bad mistake. Don't ever want to do that. You got it on the right thing? Okay.
I don't know, do I?
Yeah. Is it open? There it goes. Oh, wow. You gotta go higher. Tank's empty. Yep. Tank is empty. I mean, we're at,
Oh, it's close enough. We'll just hold it at 100.
well, it's a little above 100, but yeah, we're gonna get in the tank on that. Here, we're gonna take the valve off.
Gotta stop and smell the flowers. Those are pretty. April showers bring May flowers.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Those things are neat. I don't know what they are, but we should grab some. I wonder if he can. I wonder if he can afford to cut us a little bit. I bet they spread. Alright, she's all wrapped up. Don't even need to caulk that. Just fits tight in there. A little thumb gum on the liquid line. Arrow on the filters pointing at the coil. Just want to make sure your copper isn't touching anything metal that it can vibrate on all the way, like we talked about earlier. Got the gas line there. Right there would be a spot you want to keep an eye on. Don't let that touch that metal. And all the way out, she looks good. So we're ready to fire this boy up. I just got to put a strap back on the fresh air. Yeah, we did this one right after I had my surgery last November. It's April 8th today. We did the furnace November 26th. AC wasn't coming on, so I'm down here looking at the wires. We got our 2-wire coming from the air conditioner. So the Y is coming down from the thermostat, sending it out to the contactor outside there. And then C comes back on the white wire, and it's feeding down into the furnace on the blue, which should go to C then. And it's hooked up to Y here, so looks like I messed that up back when we were here. So I'm going to switch that blue Y up to C, and we should have the AC on. Corey's just dialing the charge in here.